So Lian Li's Landcool 207 is available from today, priced at only $79.99 for the black version, with the white version being an extra $5. Now for a case that looks that good, this does look to be pretty good value for money. But to find out, we're going to have to take a closer look, so let's dive in. So the Landcool 207 is a pretty compact case. Lian Li describe it as a micro ATX size case with ATX compatibility. Both our side panels are removed toollessly, and you'll notice we've got a vented area down at the bottom of our right side panel to provide airflow for our bottom intake fans. And taking a look at our top I/O, we've got two USB Type A ports, a power button, a combined headphone and microphone jack, and a single USB Type-C port. Our mesh top panel can simply be popped off from the back, and you'll notice that we've got no additional dust filters, and Lian Li are going with just mesh. Our mesh front panel is magnetically attached at the top. It can simply be tilted out and lifted up and away. And again, you'll notice we've got no additional dust filters behind this. At the front of the case, you'll see that Lian Li have installed two 140mm PWM ARGB fans. And in terms of other fan and radiator support, at the top of the case, you can fit up to three 120mm or two 140mm fans, or up to 360 or 280mm radiator. At the rear of the case, it's a single 120mm fan, while at the bottom of the case, Lian Li have installed two 120mm PWM fans set to intake. You'll notice on the side we've got a large perforated panel, and this is where our bottom intake fans are going to get their airflow from. This panel is removable. There's two captive thumb screws at the back we need to loosen, and the panel can be pulled backwards and lifted away. So to make sure the bottom intake fans get as much air to your graphics card as possible, Lian Li have made two important design choices in this case. The first is that your power supply is actually going to be installed at the front of the case, so not obstructing the fans. And the second is the motherboard tray is actually recessed, taking it back behind the fans where it's not going to obstruct the fan's airflow, leaving your graphics card sitting directly above the fans. In terms of motherboard support, the case supports motherboards up to ATX in size. And as you'd expect with a recessed motherboard tray, there's no back connector support. And if you want to go with a CPR killer, the maximum height supported is 180mm. You'll see at the rear of the case we've got 7 horizontal PCI expansion slot brackets, and in terms of graphics card support, the maximum length supported is 375mm. The case comes with a built-in GPU support bracket, and it can be installed in 3 different positions depending on the length of your graphics card. At the bottom of the case we've got a tray-style dust filter over our power supply's intake fan. As we mentioned, our power supply is installed at the front of the case, and the case is compatible with full-sized ATX power supplies up to a maximum length of 160mm. You're going to insert your power supply in from the side with the I/O facing towards you. And we've got a power supply extension cable which you're going to plug in to the other side. This should mean cable management is going to be really straightforward. We've got loads of cable radiant space, and Lian Li have included plenty of Velcro cable straps and plastic cable clips to help manage all your cables. In terms of drive support, at the bottom of the case we've got 2 drive trays. On each of these drive trays you're going to be able to mount either a 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch drive. And you don't need to worry about mounting drives here affecting your airflow, because the bottom of the case is solid and all the airflow for your bottom intake fans is going to come in from the side. Okay, so what I want to do now is give you a closer look at the build I put together in the case. Taking a look at our temperatures, our Ryzen 7 9700X idled at 41 degrees and reached a maximum of 70 degrees during a 10-minute IDA64 stability test. Our Tough Gaming RTX 4070 Ti idled at 27 degrees and reached a maximum of 69 degrees during the stability test. In terms of noise, we had average noise levels of 36 decibels at idle and 43 decibels under load. So the temperatures are excellent, and the design choices that Lian Li have gone with to ensure your graphics card gets the best cooling do seem to have worked. The last time I used this graphics card in a build, it idled 3 degrees hotter and it was 5 degrees hotter under load. So Lian Li seem to have done a good job with this case. Moving on to my experience of building in the case, and this was a really easy case to build in. I think there's really only 2 points to make here. The first is I would recommend installing your power supply before plugging in your case cables, because you have all your case cables routed across where the power supply is going to go, you might struggle to get your power supply into place. And the second thing, because this is quite a compact case, once you've installed your radiator and fans at the top, it is a bit difficult to plug cables into the top of your motherboard. So try and get as many cables plugged in as you can before you block up the top with an AIO. So moving on to the things I liked about the case and what is not to like, it is a good looking case where Lian Li have made sensible design choices to ensure you've got the best cooling, but it certainly does not affect the aesthetics. Other things, they've used premium materials, build quality is excellent as you would expect, and importantly they put good quality fans in. They're proper PWM fans with ARGB on the front fans. And before anybody mentions you should have ARGB on these fans, you definitely should not. If you put ARGB in these fans, they would light up the bottom compartment and you'd be able to see all the cables in it, and hard drives, for example, if you'd mounted them. You definitely don't want ARGB here, so that's a smart decision Lian Li have made here as well. Cable management is absolutely brilliant at the back. So moving on to things I didn't like about the case, and actually I'm stuck here, there's nothing I don't like about the case. If there was anything extra that I would like added to it, although I wouldn't necessarily expect this at the current price point, it would be a removable bracket at the top for installing your AIO, and it would be nice to see a rear exhaust fan. But given the fact that Lian Li have already installed 4 good PWM fans, I think 5 at this price might be too much to ask for. So we've now reached the stage in the review where I tell you, should you go out and pick up this case? The short answer is you most definitely should. It is absolutely brilliant and offers incredible value for money. For less than $80, you're getting a case that looks brilliant, gives excellent cooling at low noise levels, and has some really smart design choices which don't affect the aesthetics, but definitely affect the cooling of the case. Build quality, as you'd expect coming from Lian Li, is excellent throughout, so you are getting incredible value for money for this case, and I can most definitely recommend it. So if you are thinking of doing a build in this case, I have made a full step-by-step build guide, and you'll find a link to that video in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching.